Ryan Schmier on a slashing minor. So that means we'll be playing 4-on-4 as Ryan Schmier comes into the penalty box.
4-on-4 on a big ice pad like this, so it always opens things up and makes things pretty entertaining. That'll be for the next 47 seconds. Peltier
gets the puck forward. Richardson can't quite clear the zone and gives the Bison a chance to just get the puck in deep, and Greg Owen will go chasing it. Got to watch the bounce on these boards as well, Nick, here in Basingstoke. Big hit by Campbell.
He's getting a charging call, Dave.
You reckon, Nick?
Both teams, well, the Basingstoke Bison want to come out physical here, and referee Nigel Boniface is saying that was a charging call. We have to look. The reason he's calling it charging is because it looks like Campbell's skates left the ice. And you can't do that, Dave. You can't jump into a player like that on a body check. And I think Nigel Boniface saw that quite well. It's a good call.
Nick, do you just want to go back downstairs and go and let young Richardson back into the rink? Because I think he kind of ended up halfway in the car park after that hit. So here we go, 4-on-3. 4-on-3 then. 4 Panthers, 3 Bison. The Panthers on the power play. Weak PC Dewey, McCaslin perhaps for the drop pass. No, instead he goes to Nielsen. Wallenberg is in front as the Panthers try and tee up. And Nielsen makes a pig's ear of it. And Peter Campbell just forces the Panthers wide. Good penalty killing as the Bison force. They forced on their 5-on-4 kill. They're forcing on their 4-on-3 kill where they possibly can. Wallenberg. Nielsen hammers one just wide. Wallenberg will collect. We're now back to 4-on-4 as Melanson joins the play. Finishes hard as well on PC Druin. He really does hit hard. Like a train. Nielsen again. Fakes. Would he go to Druin? No. Takes a shot. Kicked away by Lyle. Picked up by Jarvis. Jarvis doesn't quite clear enough. And here comes Melanson. And I want to be his friend already, Nick, because he hits hard. And he walks around Nielsen, the defenseman. But he's picked up by Myers. And Melanson will now, I think, go back to his bench as the Panthers come with Myers. Danny Myers takes a shot into the pads. And now Campbell picks up on a loose puck. Campbell gets it into the middle, where Melanson, who couldn't get off, takes a long-range shot. Saved by Ravniak, and now Matt Myers skates out, and they'll skate out at speed with Richardson just to his right. Myers headmans the puck and goes round Ben O'Connor, still holds on to it as Campbell comes hard on him. Richardson gets taken out of the play as Melanson. It doesn't matter which end of the rink he's at, he's just hitting everybody. Petro down the left-hand side. Drop pass, here's the treasure, it's Melanson, he fires low, Melanson again, right between the legs of Ravniak, the puck is still there. Melanson goes right back to the bench. I like that Melanson, and we've only seen him for 4.5 minutes. We're back now 5-on-4 for about 15 seconds of Panthers power play. But Owen, as the Panthers get a change, he drags the defenceman, gets onto his backhand, but Ferrara had held him up. No penalty called. Ferrara now will skate with it. Can he get enough good stick on it? The Bison are at full strength, and now we're back at 5-on-5. Lovely play by Stewart. He cycled well, hasn't been taken down. O'Connor, he'll look for the east to west pass to his defence partner, but as the Panthers checked in, Cruikshank just helps it on its way. Picked up by Levers. Levers gets it to the left-hand side. Schmier gets hit and gets hit hard by Stewart. O'Connor rims one round the boards to Cruikshank. Cruikshank just looked, surveyed his options, haven't got too many, so chipped into the neutral zone. And it's end-to-end stuff here. And what we're seeing is a very, very physical game of Elite League Ice Hockey. The Bison failing to clear into the neutral zone. Now they do. And Nick, we're seeing body checks like we haven't seen so far this season.
Well, you've seen one team come out here and wanting to take advantage of the fact that Nottingham have taken a nice bus ride down here.
Moline banging for the puck, but Jarvis knocks it. Campbell comes in. Myers loses it in his stake. Collected Wallenberg. Goes out to Moline. Moline and McCaslin almost run into each other. Here is McCaslin. Got traffic in front of Stevie Law's goal. Wallenberg can't really see it. And the whistle blows. But Wallenberg went straight to the net. That's something he didn't do in Hull. And the Panthers have gone to get in front of Lyle straight away tonight.
Well, Dave, that's a little over 5 minutes of hockey. That's some of the best hockey we've seen so far this season. Both teams really in their stride. Basingstoke wanting to come out and hit the Panthers and not let them get into anything. But the fact that they were on a couple power plays have opened up the game and given the Panthers some good scoring chances.
The Nottingham Panthers have to get dirty to win in Basingstoke. They've got to be able to roll the sleeves up, and Patrick Wallenberg just showed us that he was prepared to do that by going to the net. Panthers, we put possession. They're going to try and get it in deep, but have to come back to Myers instead. Myers down the right-hand side to Richardson. Peter Campbell collects. Goes back to his defence partner. And now the play to Stevie Thornton, one of the cleverest guys you'll see on a puck. Thornton helps us on its way. Derek Campbell goes to get it. Campbell's the physical presence on the Campbell and Thornton line. And here he is. He just tried to get it in deep. I think he'll go for a change now. He does. In fact, both teams will take this opportunity of changing when they can. Here's Danny Myers. Myers to Druin, who just helps it on its way. No icing as Richardson will get there first. Richardson gets taken out of the play by Braff. And now Jarvis. Big left-handed shot defenseman. Down the middle and intercepted as the Panthers take away the middle of the ice. Richardson just tried to find Druin. Druin's going to be offside. Has to come out of the zone as the Bison now break with Cruikshank. Right down the middle he goes. Is it Owen? Owen gets it out to Cruikshank again. Takes a shot just wide of Rovniak's goal. Chambers. And this Chambers, Cruikshank and Owen line will crash and bang. Owen's going to be the finesse here. Chambers tries to get the puck out in front. Cruikshank goes to the net. Levers with a cross-check, and he's going to get called on that cross-check. Levers cross-check Cruikshank as Cruikshank went right in front of Rovniak. Penalty on the play, and the Bison are going to be going on their first major power play of the night.
See the action driving to Panthers trying to protect his goalie there, but you can't cross-check anyone in the back there. And it was right in front of Nigel Boniface.
The thing was, Levers let Cruikshank go past him to get to the front of the net in the first place, realised his error, and then has had to take a penalty for it. And Cruikshank is a man who doesn't need asking to go to the front of the net. He's a man that's automatically drawn there like a magnet. Power play time then for the Basingstoke Bison. They can't keep the puck in. And they will all regroup as Petro hits the red line and chips it in. Stewart on the first power play line here will go and try and get the puck. He's going to be playing with Campbell, who finishes. Stewart again comes out, takes the one shot, takes a second shot, loose puck out. Rovniak tries to have it, hasn't got it, and now it's behind the goal with Thornton. Petro's waiting for it. Can Thornton find Petro? Moves him out and then listens him out and goes to Campbell, who fans on it. 2-on-2 now with Druin and McCaslin. Drop past Stewart. McCaslin top of the circle, kicked away Lyle. McCaslin picks up his own rebound and skates well and does an excellent job, Sean McCaslin, getting it all the way back to Nielsen, who goes east to west to Myers. Outlet pass to McCaslin. McCaslin versus Lyle. Goes 5-0 and Lilly shut his legs just in time. What a nice play by Myers to McCaslin. And McCaslin there will feel like he should have scored, but Stevie Lyle made an excellent stop. He went 5-0 there, Nick.
Great heads-up pass from PC Druin, who hit McCaslin driving to the net there. And yeah, he did. He tried to sneakily pull Lyle apart so he could spread his legs there and slide it between his 5-hole, but Lyle shut the door.
Power play has been uneventful for both teams in the opening 8 minutes of this first period here in Basingstoke. But Basingstoke haven't really had good puck possession in the offensive zone as Melanson hammers the puck in where Owen will collect and help it on its way behind the goal of Rovniak. Owen's got to get there first. He hasn't got a lot of options if he gets there first or when he gets there first. And again, the Panthers just clear.
You know, Dave, you mentioned the boards here, and the Bison are doing a strong cross-ice dump into the corners because obviously they're favoring the bounces that they get out there. And because it's a home rink, they know where the puck comes out.
We talk about genuine American League players, and that Melanson looks the real deal to me. Here's Cruikshank on his backhand as he goes in. Campbell takes a shot, denied by Rovniak, who got down and didn't give any kind of angle for the shot. As we count down now, and it's going to be 5-on-5 play. We're back to even strength as Levers rejoins the action. And the Panthers finishing checks, and Owen just off the boards to Melanson. Melanson again gets taken out by Myers, but Melanson takes a hit as well as gives it. Cruikshank hard off the glass through the neutral zone, but good job by Myers, who must have jumped about 4 or 5 feet up in the air. Now he jumps over Stewart, who's playing on his knees at the moment. Just hack and chop down there. That's a man's game. And the puck out to side to the referee, and the whistle blows.
Yeah, I like this game, Dave, so far. Both teams playing hard. Both goalkeepers as well playing very, very well up to this point. Stevie Lyle. Here we can see that great pass by PC Druin, who hits McCaslin coming in. And you can see he just tries to draw Lyle across his crease to open up his legs. And like I said, Lyle shut the door.
Stewart and Levers in the face-off circle. And the Bison again just try and get it deep with Stewart, collected by Nielsen behind the goal of Rovniak. And he's looking for some options. He comes right down the middle to Myers, who helps it on its way. Icing waved off. Jarvis. Kit's taken out by Schmier, who arrives just a little late. Feel like the post. Dumps it into the corner to the Bison, and Nielsen again will get there first. The Panthers just trying to get a little bit of time on the puck, and the puck just being held up in the boards at the moment. Schmier's going to help it on its way. And Jarvis will collect as the big unit for the Bison looks ready to come out onto the ice. That's the Campbell and Thornton line. Thornton stood on the top of the bench. He's waiting to come off. His centreman Wood does come off now. And as the Bison take it behind their own goal, their forwards get a chance to come onto the ice. Campbell bursts down the left, cuts into the middle, but the defenseman instead will find Jarvis. Helps it on its way to Campbell, who takes a hit. Peltier, who impressed in our earlier games, backhands blindly and puts his team in a little bit of trouble as the puck's behind Rovniak's goal. Helped on its way by Stancock. Haven't spoken much of him tonight. Long outlet pass. Bowling can't quite collect, and Derek Campbell will hit the blue line and try and get it in deep. Does a good job on Peltier, Campbell, then runs over Stancock. Nothing wrong with that. Campbell does a good job. Both Campbells. Thornton's waiting for it. Instead comes to Mellenton. The puck's bouncing. Finds it back to Campbell. Shoot denied by Rovniak. Makes the first save. Makes the second save. And the Bison starting to turn the screw.
I'll tell you what a great heads-up play by Campbell, who made that pass out to the point there. Just slid it between the Nottingham Panthers' legs. And the pass comes right back to him, and he gets the shot on net.
The puck was just bouncing for Mellenton there, wasn't it?
It was, just wouldn't settle down for him. But it was a great 1-2 play, and the Bison keep cracking it.
The two second units out at the moment with Myers, Richardson and Drew in for the Panthers against the Chambers, Cruikshank and Owen lineup. Just 9 minutes remain then in this first period of the Bison. But here's Myers. Can he open the scoring? He's looking for a trailer. Couldn't really find him. And now the Bison will break. But the Panthers get back in good numbers. And it's 3-on-3 as Mellenton headmans the puck. Mellenton just looks for some options and then just hammers one behind Rovniak's goal. Chambers goes to collect, but the Panthers defenseman Nielsen gets there first and makes a nice play to Matt Myers. Myers hits the red line and just gets the puck in deep into the glove, in fact, of Lyle. Kind of drops it, and Mellenton helps it on its way. Bison down the right-hand side, and Owen and Stanko just clash, and the puck ends up in the Panthers bench.
It does for a break, and like I said, Dave, the Bison, they're coming in when they're gaining the red line. They're firing that puck in instead of a soft dump that'll just load into the corners. They're just firing around the boards or into the opposite corner because they know the puck will bounce out funny and hopefully create a scoring opportunity for them.
We'll talk more about it later, I'm sure, Nick, but the Panthers only rotating 4 defensemen tonight against the 5 of the Basingstoke Bison. As Schmier has gone up to a third-line position. That all, of course, because of the Shepherd suspension. So 4D against 5D, if you like, and we'll see if fatigue plays a factor as the night rolls on, as the Bison, again, get good puck possession down low, and they go hacking and a-whacking, and Stankoff gets out-muscled there, and the Bison again behind the net. They try and step out, and unfortunately Kulikov trying to get a cycle going, couldn't do so. Panthers clear all the way down, icing waved off. Ben O'Connor played his junior hockey in North America, went over there as a 14-year-old and came back this year. He is, of course, the son of the Sheffield Steelers general manager, Mike O'Connor, and he's doing a pretty good job here, says the coach Ryan Aldridge of the Bison. His first year playing professional hockey. Here's Stevie Thornton. He's had a fair few years playing pro hockey, and he just fires the puck right into the head of Moline. Moline's helmet did well there. Campbell's driven the net. Thornton just finds it off the back of the net. Petro steps up. Here comes Campbell again. Off his skates, Campbell there. No penalty called. And now Nielsen comes, and it's McCaslin and Campbell. Campbell took a run at the defenseman. Both guys wearing visors, and McCaslin just in front of us has landed a couple there. Oh, and Campbell landed an uppercut. Campbell landed a great uppercut to McCaslin. He's now taking the helmet off. McCaslin doesn't think that this one's over, and he's making a point to the referee, Nigel Boniface, that the hit from Campbell was illegal. We'll see if we can get a look at the heat just before the fight, because in my opinion, Campbell did take his feet off the ice when he ran the Panthers into the corner. Well, let's watch this. Bang.
Again, yeah, Dave, you can't leave the ice. Nigel was right down in the corner, Nigel Boniface, and maybe he did have the one skate still on the ice. But, you know, we say the Panthers, in terms of actual size, aren't that big, but they are playing big. And that hit obviously upset the Nottingham Panthers. And,
well, the only thing I can think the referee and linesman are talking about now is whether they penalise the hit. And also, do they give McCaslin the instigator? I don't know. I don't think so. I hope not.
Yeah, we'll wait to see what happens there. But you can see both guys, you know, I don't like the fights when they keep their helmets on, because you're just going to get busted.
Because the visors do more damage.
You're not going to hurt a guy. It's pointless. If the time ever comes where you have to fight, which, you know, it does, but take the gloves off, take the helmets off, and go at it. But
there's Ryan Aldridge, first year professionally coaching. Was with the Bracknell Bees last year. But in my opinion, Nick, when you move from the EPL up to the Elite League, it's a big step. It's proper coaching now that you need. Nielsen is down there having a look and having a word with referee Nigel Boniface. Boniface is explaining. Do you reckon they'll just give the 2 5-minute fighting majors here, or do you reckon they'll call McCaslin on the instigator?
To get into the head of a referee, I don't know. We'll have to wait.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. There's no penalties up on the scoreboard at the moment, so it looks like we're just straight fighting, which is fair enough. Give the two fighters the penalties, and that's the end of it. So
enough,
we will.
He didn't call Campbell on the charge, but like I say, you have to completely leave the ice, and I think maybe his right skate was still down, and it was right in front of Nigel Boniface, so I'd have to say he got that one right, Dave. No.
You're just giving the referee. Yep. McCaslin is leaving the ice. McCaslin is leaving the ice. Now that wouldn't surprise me then. So the instigator against McCaslin of the Nottingham Panthers, he gets a 2-minute charging penalty. He gets a 2 + 10 + game. And McCaslin has left the ice. Here's Dewing. Backs out to Nielsen. Nielsen goes deep behind his own goal. Here comes Thornton. Helps it on its way to Campbell. We'll have to get those penalties confirmed in a moment. But Thornton's pulled a great move. He's got Petro just in front of him. Stewart into an empty net. And he misses. He hits the outside. McCaslin then with a game misconduct we're hearing. We'll get confirmation of that in a moment at 17:30.
Steve Thornton with a great outside-in move, and the Bison with perhaps the best scoring opportunity of the game so far.
We're getting confused here with the penalties because there's no penalties up on the scoreboard here. As Stewart comes down the left-hand side, he's got Petro just ahead of him. I don't know whether McCaslin has left the game for the entirety or not.
He may have just got.
I think he's just got the instigator.
He may have just got the instigator. I heard the 10-minute misconduct, and there's there's no point in sitting in the box.
If you're the instigator on the fight, Nick, it's 2, 5, and 10, 17 minutes, and that means he's done for the period. And I think that's why he's gone to the dressing room. So I don't think there's a game misconduct in there. Ferreira battling down low, just beneath that commentary position. Levers helps it on its way, and now the Panthers will regroup with Stankov. Dewing had just left the ice there as the puck just went past him. The Panthers standing the Bison up as offside is called as Levers finishes with a late hit, and the whistle blows. So it's all fun and games here at the Basingstoke Arena. It's still scoreless though, with just over 5.5 minutes remaining in the first period. Basingstoke 0, Nottingham Panthers 0. Myers out to Nielsen. I actually applaud McCaslin for taking on Campbell there, because I actually do think that Campbell did take a run, and Melanson finishes hard, and Melanson doesn't care who you are, he just finishes hard on you every single shift, whether you're 6'4" or 5'4". Here's Kulikov. 28-year-old chips it into the corner. Owen goes to get there first. Remember Kulikov's father, what a great player he was in the early days at Fife many years ago. Nielsen behind his net of Rovniak, leaves it for Myers. And here is Danny Myers. Danny Myers with a long outreach pass, and he was lucky to get away with that. Suicide pass there by Danny
read
Myers.
That all the way. And the Panthers are lucky to get away with that.
Peter Campbell bangs it off the glass. As you say, Nick, you get an awkward bounce every time here. Kulikov couldn't quite get there first, and the puck bounces all the way around where it's collected by Petro. Petro east to west goes to Melanson, who gives it him straight back, and just chips it into the neutral zone. Collected Druin. Druin goes round. Petro takes a shot, and a good stop by Stevie Lyle, and here come down the other end of the Bison. Stewart collects off Campbell. Stewart then falls over, and Stewart takes a shoulder straight into the boards there. Moline helps it on its way to Druin. Druin's got Wallenberg ahead of him, and Wallenberg gets it out to Moline. Moline on a drop pass. Have a guess, Wallenberg wasn't there. Moline was ahead of him. And what we've seen now, Nick, is without McCausland, Druin has stepped up on the Moline and Wallenberg line. So let's see if we can get some offence out of PC. Here he's Druin. Hammers one, but again about 4 foot wide, and the puck ends up in the rear netting, and the Panthers having to rejig their lines.
Yeah, that I was going to say, talk about that, Dave, that with McCaslin out there, they're going to have to do some rejigging, because I know they've got a full lineup. They don't have huge options to go to, and PC's moved up on that line now. And PC, I'm impressed with him in this period. He's been up and down the wings, back checking hard, and playing like the PC Druin of old.
Yeah, pulls a nice move there, backhand, forehand. Lyle followed him though and made the save. And Stevie Lyle's made a couple of very important saves tonight here at the Basingstoke Arena. Owen just couldn't get it in deep enough as Cruikshank comes in hard, as Cruikshank always does. Richardson takes a long shot, but Stevie Lyle will save those all day long.
You know what?
And Owen tie up.
It's so great on his rebound. He just killed that dead. A couple of shots earlier on as well. I talk about it a lot when goaltenders take them off the blocker, where they put the rebounds. They don't just drop them right in front of them. And a lot of experience, goes right into the corners with them. And this one, he just holds on to dead. Look at that pop. Uses the trapper to lock it onto the blocker, and they've got the face-off.
The Panthers need to win some face-offs. When we've seen them earlier this year against Sheffield and Hull, they haven't been successful in the middle. They've got to be a bit more dominant tonight, as Chambers knocks it forward to Owen. Owen couldn't quite collect, but they keep it in the defensive zone. Now it gets knocked through, and Myers is battling hard there, but Jarvis gets it back to Braff. Eric Braff in his second year with the Basingstoke Bison. Here's Cruikshank, who's in his third season. Tough, rugged, no-nonsense. Schmier comes in and finishes, but Cruikshank had already got the puck out to Braff, who gives it to Jarvis. Jarvis's stick just breaks on the pass, and
I'll tell you, you've got to love these sticks and how hard you can shoot, but some of them, sometimes you get a bad one in a bunch and they just snap that easy, and you can see that one just breaking like a toothpick.
Well, that one snapped just like his sister had shot it, and
that's $300 bucks.
Yeah, they're expensive sticks. Campbell puts the brakes on. O'Connor's driven to the net. Here is O'Connor, gets the shot away, and he was going top shelf until Rovniak got his glove to it. Nice save by the Slovakian goalie, Nielsen. Heads up play to Ferrara, cuts across the middle, but intercepted by Greg Wood. Melanson. When in doubt, chip it out, and Melanson's that old school, old-fashioned player. Panthers get it in deep. Peltier goes to check Melanson. Perhaps thinks twice about it as well, as Melanson helps it on its way. Down the left-hand side, Kulikov, taken out of the play, Wallenberg.
I don't like those swoops when you skate by a guy and you can take the body.
Here's Druin, fires it right into the chest of Stevie Lyle. Druin about 6'4", Melanson not quite that big, but just manoeuvres him out of the play. Bit of eye-to-eye contact. I have to say, I like that boy, Melanson.
Do you miss McCaslin? Hope he comes back out.
Well, I hope McCaslin comes back,
aren't you?
McCaslin, I can see at the other end of the rink at the moment. He hasn't taken his shorts off. He's still in his sweats. So 2, 5 and 10 for McCaslin for the instigator.
And he'll be back.
Here come the Bison down the right-hand side. McCaslin decided, instead of taking the 17 minutes in the penalty box, he'd go back to his dressing room, as he's entitled to do. Thornton does some good work on the blue line. Great job, Thornton gets it out to Stewart. Stewart walks round Peltier and takes a shot into the chest of Rovniak. Here's Peltier. Steps outside. Owen just hammers one into the corner where it will be gone and collected. Here goes Moline. to Wallenberg. Wallenberg headmans the puck. Drop pass to Druin. Druin, who's playing up on the big line, goes forehand back and he skates so well. Heads up play, PC Druin. Delayed penalty against the Bison. And the Nottingham Panthers are going to finish this first period on the power play. 72 seconds remain on this first period. And the Bison are going to come into the penalty box. More power play time for the Panthers. There is McCaslin. Just with Adam the stick boy there. McCaslin having a laugh and a joke about something.
Yeah, he's going to have the pads off and the jersey off, so he probably has a blow dry on it right now, drying them all, so when he gets back on the ice, they'll feel nice and comfy.
So McCaslin will be back with us early in the second period. I actually think he did a good job there, though, in fighting Campbell. I think he should have fought Campbell as well. Mellinson. So interference minor against the Bison, and here is power play time for the Nottingham Panthers. And in their earlier power plays, they haven't really set up. They haven't really gained the zone and set up, and that's what they'll be looking to do. They're only going to have about 50 seconds before the period break. Long outlet pass to Schmier. And it surprises me that just for the final minute, the big Schmier line is out there, not the more skilled Wallenberg-Moline line. I know they had a long shift beforehand, but just for 50 seconds or 30 seconds as it now is, Nick, I'm surprised the big unit isn't out there on the power play.
They're just off there and getting a bit of a breather. And they'll get one more crack at it, and you can see they're doing a line change right now. And
Thornton does a pretty good job getting it low. Here's Stewart on the penalty kill, and he just keeps the puck down in the low. Now, down the left-hand side comes Druin, hits the red line, tries to make the long pass out to Wallenberg, intercepted. Wallenberg finally gets it to Moline. Moline takes Thornton wide. Back to PC Druin. Druin on a one-timer to Nielsen. Puck was out in front there, and it was Levers that got taken out of the play as the period ends. And Nick, an interesting period, and a tight period, but a physical period, one of the more physical that we've seen.
Yeah, it's been a great period of hockey, Dave. I know it's 0-0, but we can see Campbell being nice and physical. The Bison have come out, they've been physical, they've kept Nottingham on their toes, knowing that they can hear the footsteps in their ears.
We had the one big incident. McCaslin has had a 17-minute break, but here at the Basingstoke Arena, it's the Basingstoke Bison 0, the Nottingham Panthers 0. Will we get goals in the second period? Well, you'll have to come back to find out. We'll be back shortly. Well, it was a scoreless first period here at the Basingstoke Ice Arena between the Basingstoke Bison and the Nottingham Panthers. But we had probably one of the better periods of hockey that we've seen so far this season. Yeah,
it was really, really nice, even period of hockey. Ravniak facing 12 shots and Stevie Lyle facing 9. Some really, really good, high-quality scoring opportunities there. Both goalies playing really, really good, and both teams playing really good and physical.
And I know all the cameramen and all the guys in the truck, they love the fights as well, and they had a good little scrap to look back on as well. You're not keen on the fights, are you, Nick?
But you know, Dave, you know, there's a time and place for it.
But I actually think that was a time and a place, because I actually do think that was a charge, and I think he did heavies the fight again. And it was all caused because Campbell ran one of the Nottingham Panthers players, did charge him. I do think feet were off the ground. We had a slight difference of opinion there.
Place for it in professional hockey.
Yeah.
But you know, down in the lower leagues and the kids growing up and stuff, you don't condone it, and it's not part of their game. But you know, when money's on the line and stakes are there, then it is part of the game. And the only thing about that fight, I wish the guys would have got their helmets off.
Yeah. Because actually that hurts the hands, doesn't it, on the visors when they're throwing the punches? They're going to
you're going to bust your hand.
Bang your knuckles out.
You're going to hit the guy, and he's not going to feel it. So pointless.
Okay, pitter-patter, folks. Let's get at it. Second session here in Basingstoke. The Nottingham Panthers, if you're just joining us, are in the black uniform. They're going right to left, and the predominantly white uniform of the Basingstoke Bison. So it's the Panthers on the attack. They're on the power play at the moment. They have a one-man advantage on the ice, but the Bison clear through the neutral zone all the way down to Rovniak. He'll help it on its way, really, to Druin. Just kind of plays with it and kills a few more seconds off the penalty. As Druin, who had a good first period, moved up onto the first line when we lost McCaslin. McCaslin will be back shortly, and I expect Druin will move back down onto the second unit thereafter. Yeah, 10 seconds left on that Basingstoke penalty.
Guys, I think Steve Thornton and PC Druin for the teams respectively. Both had pretty good periods. They pulled some nice little moves that I like to see. I like to see that in the game, those nice little moves and good shots on net. Both guys playing the hockey that they can play.
Bison at full strength, a couple of big hits coming in as well. Chambers just down below us, just lets the puck go past him. Goes all the way down to the other end of the rink, picked up by Stancock. And I said earlier, we hadn't seen an awful lot of Robert Stancock in his second spell with the Nottingham Panthers. And sometimes as a defenseman, you don't mind that, not seeing a lot of him. Stancock almost shoots and scores on his own goalie there, in fact. It's a little bit scrappy in the early stages of this second period as Myers finishes and Peltier will just hammer one around, but he can't clear the zone and kept in well by Braff. Owen couldn't be first to the loose puck, and Richardson, who pulls a lovely little inside-out move and then tries to find Richardson down the right-hand side. It was Peltier, actually, who pulled the nice move, and Richardson had just gone to the bench at the wrong time. Cruikshank, got about the 8 iron out there, I think. I think he needed the 4 iron.
He was a little bit cheeky on Stancock earlier on there. He kicked his stick down the ice, and that upset a few Panthers fans.
Here's Myers, big, strong Welsh lad who gets taken out of the play. Neal comes in with a slash onto Braff. No penalty call there. Almost carved the guy in half. Down the middle to Stewart. But again, the Panthers intercept, and it comes all the way back down to the Bison defence. They try and get going again. The Bison actually had quite a slow start the first couple of minutes of the first period. And again, the Panthers in the ascendancy at the start of this second session. Here's Ferrara. Not going to score from there, but he almost set up Wallenberg on the rebound. Nottingham again getting in deep, and that means that the Bison defensemen have to turn around and go and get it, and fatigue then becomes a factor at a later date. Myers with a blind backhand pass that somehow found Drew in. He couldn't quite control it. Myers picks it up. They try and bang these long passes. Nielsen there off the boards, and Nielsen's just shaking his head.
In the way of what could have been a nice long stretch pass.
Nielsen then just shaking his head, though. He does exactly the same, rims it all the way around, and this time he does break into the neutral zone, where it's collected by Melanson, who had an excellent first period. Hit everything and moved. Thornton's line now comes onto the ice. That's with the two Campbells, Derek and Peter, not related. Here's Peter Campbell. Heads up play by Peter Campbell. Cuts to the middle. He's going to have a chance. Shoots and scores! Peter Campbell cut to the middle and he ripped one past Robin Young. There was traffic in front of him. But early in the second period, it's the Basingstoke Bison that lead by 1-0. Oh, she wants to sell my monkey.
Snipe, and Campbell, you can see him cutting across the blue line into this high slot and fires it up high. Having traffic. Do you know what, Dave, though? Campbell, there's one rule in hockey that you don't want to do a lot, and that is when you get a blue line, is to cut across the blue line, because you're basically setting yourself up to get your head knocked off. But there, no Nottingham Panthers take the check. He fires it up high, and we got a 1-0 game.
And traffic in front of Rovniak. The other Campbell, Derek Campbell, went to the net. He clashed with Myers as well, and that puts pressure on. Here's Petro again. Peter Campbell then with his first goal of the night. Thornton has gone to the net. The moorings are off. Or the net are off its moorings. So Peter Campbell's first goal of the night gives the Bison the lead.
Stancock there, I was wondering maybe if it was him that went into the goal there, knocked the net off its moorings, holding his mouth, maybe loosened up a few chiclets.
So Peter Campbell scored a lot of goals in Germany over the last couple of years, had a couple last week against Sheffield, and now opens the scoring, and Ryan Aldridge will be delighted.
He'll be happy with his team getting on the board first, that's for sure.
Well, that's always important for the home team, isn't it? You don't want to give the away team that advantage of the first goal.
The Panthers have played so well in that first period as well. Now you've taken a bit of wind out of their sail.
Stancock to Schmier, who just chips it down forward. Petro will get there first on his backhand and helps it out to Cruikshank. Richardson got there first, and Melanson just had a sniff of blood, and he's like a tiger shark, and he was straight in there to finish the hit off. Owen finishes now. Melanson again involved in the traffic behind. Richardson comes out on his backhand side, gets taken out of the play by his GB teammate Greg Owen. Owen back to Melanson, who takes it in his skates and then protects the puck pretty well.
I'll tell you what, Nottingham are so lucky not to get a penalty there, as Myers shot the Basingstoke Bison's stick. I think it was Peto's stick all the way down the ice.
Chance of a breakaway here for Matt Myers. Schmears goes to the bench, so Myers is pretty much on his own. Tries to walk around Owen. Owen bear hugs him, takes him to the ground, and the penalty is going to come the way of the Basingstoke Bison. Coming in at 24 minutes and 31 seconds, so the Nottingham Panthers on the power play.
A holding call, and like I say, this turned quite hard for Myers. He tries to do a little dipsy doodle around Owen, and Owen having to put the big bear hug on him and drag him down to the ice, and that's the holding call. But Myers is very, very lucky that he didn't get a penalty earlier on for shooting down one of the Bison's stick there. He dropped it. You know, he quickly looked up to see where Nigel Boniface was, and Nigel didn't see him. He shot the stick down the ice. A no. But a yes when you end up in this situation now.
Here's Dewing. Can he get the one-timer? No, he goes across to Nielsen. Bit of room for Nielsen. Takes a shot. Doesn't get through to Lyle and the Basingstoke Bison through Stewart. Will just chip down the left-hand side and clear the zone nicely. Wallenberg. Big hit coming in again, this time from Derek Campbell. And the Basingstoke Bison like to finish their hits. They are a physical team. Panthers again trying to clear the zone, but the Basingstoke Bison force on the penalty kill. Robniak gets it out to Drewin, leaves it for Nielsen, who shakes his head, pulls a move, and Thornton can't take Drewin down. Puck all the way back down with Ben O'Connor. And Ben O'Connor pulls a nice little move and helps it on its way.
Bison doing a great job stuffing the blue line so that the Panthers can't get there with any momentum. Really, the Panthers now, you're going to want to look at them gaining the red line and then firing it in like the Bison did in the first period.
You've got to earn the right to play in a rink like Basingstoke, and you have to do all those little things and those dirty jobs first of all. And Braff has done a pretty good job as the puck comes back to Stancock, who gets one right in the musher there. Campbell bangs one around the boards. Will he go all the way out? He does, and he just kills another handful of seconds as Stancock goes back to collect. Stancock heads up down the left-hand side. Richardson can't get there first. And Pecho again just clears all the way down to Rovniak's goal. As we count down the Nottingham Panthers power play with just 30 seconds, it's Peltier who tries to get something going. Makes a nice pass out to Mark Richardson. Drop pass here to Levers. Levers with the shot through traffic, but Lyle saw it all and it ended up in the midriff.
And that's fine for the Bison to give that shot away, but you notice the Bison are just buzzing on this PK. They're not letting Nottingham anytime in their own zone, neutral zone, get any possession and gain the zone. And this has been the only shot of the power play so far, and it's just through frustration that they didn't take time there when they finally get it into the zone to set it up.
And Ryan Aldridge will give that shot away all night, won't he? Shot from out wide.
Not a problem for Steve Lyle.
Drewin gets it back to Moline with 15 seconds left on the one-man advantage. Drewin goes east to west, gets it out to Nielsen. Nielsen's got the howitzer, but he'll come back to Drewin. Drewin seems happy to fire it across to Moline. And Moline on the one-timer got deflected in the meshing above the plexiglass. So one final opportunity for the Bison. We'll see it again. Drewin back out here to Moline, just hammers it.
With the one-timer, yeah, not a bad play. It just takes a deflection and goes up over the glass.
6 seconds remain then on the power play. Wallenberg hits down. Here's Nielsen. Nielsen just fires one through traffic. It went through the legs of Schmear, through the legs of Ellenson, and fortunately not through the legs of Stevie Lyle.
No, another great save by Steve Lyle, and he had traffic in front of him as well. You can see this one, a great view right through the legs, and Lyle down in the butterfly position picks it up and doesn't let any rebound away.
So as that face-off is won by the Bison, they will come back to full strength, and there's a chance of an outlet pass there. Owen couldn't just reach that puck as he came out of the penalty box. They come with speed now, the Panthers, with Wallenberg. Drop past Moline. Moline back to Wallenberg. Nielsen's on the back door, but instead they tried to find Myers, who hadn't sunk low. Here's Melanson. No thrills, no spills from Melanson. He'll just go over you. Doesn't want to go around you. It's wasted energy. Or perhaps not even over, maybe just through you. Panthers rim out, can't get it out, and here's a second bite for the Bison. They cycle well and get the puck out wide to Cruikshank. Cruikshank is met by Myers. Chambers helps it on its way. Cruikshank meets it behind the net. Braff with the long shot. Crashing and banging by Chambers and Cruikshank. Cruikshank gets it back to Jarvis through traffic. Nice outlet pass by Drewin to Drewin. Here is Drewin, shoots into the glove of Stevie Lyle, and there's a penalty on the play.
Let's see what he's going to call here.
It's the hooking minor. Drewy went down alone, and you'll see he was interfered with.
He does call the hooking call, and PC drew him a good outlet pass, sent him away, and you can see the hook there. And without that hook, you could see PC giving a few more feet in front of him, and I don't mind those penalties. That's what I call a good penalty, because Drew in 1-on-0 with Lyle, without that hook, he would have gone in there with good speed, and it would have been a great scoring opportunity.
Nigel Boniface then calls the penalty on Wes Jarvis, that hooking minor. Power play time once again for the Nottingham Panthers. Can they tie this game up?
Well, you keep giving him chances like this, it increases the chances to score.
Stancock got the 8-iron out there and hit one of the Bison players on the shoulder. Stancock then finishes on Thornton. And let's see if the Bison are successful again, Nick, in forcing on the kill, because that's what they've done so well early doors.
They are. They're just not letting Nottingham set up. You can see Steve Thornton just buzzing around, waiting for them to come out to their blue line, and they're all over them. It's
not in the game plan. The Panthers want to gain the zone, gain the offensive zone, and set up their play like this now. They have an opportunity with Stancock, but he gained the zone, but then wasn't able to set up because Braff was all over him like a cheap suit. Now the Bison again will have time to clear, and they do clear. Ravignac collects.
I'd say the thing right now that I'm noticing of the Basingstoke Bison is they're playing as a unit, either short-handed or full strength. They're really playing as one.
Wallenberg and Moline, they combined well. They've got Schmier just out in front, but Moline gets it back to Drewin, who had a suicide pass from Nielsen. And as I look down, Nielsen says sorry to Drewin. So he should have been. It was in his ankles. Nielsen. He is a key, though, on the Nottingham Panthers power play, but not when you give the puck away like that to Campbell. He's got Stewart just in front of him. Campbell's done a great job, and the whistle blows with the net off its mooring. But Corey Nielsen there on the giveaway pass, and Derek Campbell, just hard work, persistent hard work.
They're sending in forecheckers on the Panthers power play, and they're just not letting the Panthers set anything up. They're not letting them string that. I haven't seen two passes strung together.
You know where we sit, Nick, we're looking across at pretty full stands here at the Basingstoke Arena, and it seems to me like the Bison fans have all of a sudden, they've got a team they can come out and support here. Definitely. This looks a good hockey club. Drewin collects off a face-off win. And as I look to my left, 36 seconds left on the power play. Nielsen, who's been out a long time. Moline can't collect. Wallenberg takes the puck into the offensive zone. Moline was there ahead of him, and offside is called. A little scruffy on the power play for the Nottingham Panthers. They can't get that good puck possession. Bison will be happy with the way that they're playing right now. They've just got 31 more clicks to count down as Owen just beats Moline on the face-off there, just pushes the puck forward. Smart play, keeps the puck in the neutral zone. Cruikshank, it is who finishes hard on Drewin, but all of a sudden Nielsen's out alone, shoots wide. Oh, Stevie Lyle there, I think was beaten stick side, but fortunately for Stevie Lyle, Nielsen shot wide, but he was agoraphobia there. It was just miles from anywhere. Just found himself on his own. That's the problem when you do have an aggressive PK like that. You can get burnt sometimes, and Nielsen getting the puck in the high slot area, no one on him, and he had a great chance to tie this game up. Bison back to full strength, just slashes the stick, and here's another chance on the power play. As soon as the Bison touch the puck, we're going to have a slashing minor against the Basingstoke Bison, and it was the easiest penalty Nigel Boniface will call all night. Watch this. Whack.
Yeah, there's the whack, and you know, I know the penalty killing unit for the Bison has been extremely successful, but you keep giving these Panthers opportunities like this, and Dave, ultimately they will burn you eventually. Well, you know what, Nick, you were right. The first penalty that Jarvis took was a smart penalty. That one that Jarvis has just took was a dumb penalty. How's your finger? Here's Myers. I want to get out there. It hurts, exactly. We want to get out there. Here's Matt Myers. Myers through traffic. Oh, he kept the puck low as well. Stewart does a pretty good job clearing his own, though. I like that, Danny Stewart. He works his bag off, this boy does. Danny Stewart backhand. Man out in front is Petro. Ravignac had to make the save. Had to make it, because the two Bison were driving the net. Good work by Petro. He made some ground up there. Long shot comes out. Lyle gives the rebound, but he directs it well, as Nick said he did earlier. Out to Wallenberg, puck in front, and Richardson couldn't collect. Second bite of the cherry comes in. Peltier
Chips into the corner. Levers helps, it's on its way. 80 seconds left on the one-man advantage, but the puck is in the crowd. And we see Sean McCaslin re-enter the ice. His major penalty is clicked down.
Yeah, his misconduct's all served, and lucky for you, Dave, your guy's back on the ice. But here's a great opportunity by the Bison on the PK. That going straight into Ravniak's high crease there, and he has forced, like you say, forced to make the save.
That Danny Stewart carries good speed, doesn't he, Nick? Good speed.
He does. You know, I'm really impressed with all the speed that the Bison carry, because they're very fast, very nippy, and they just haven't given up. They just keep the legs winding.
Whether they win, lose or draw tonight, this Bison team's going to win some hockey games this year. Here's Moline. Moline tries to centre a pass. It's that man Mellinson, who actually drove his own player into the Panther. Mellinson can't do it himself. He'll want one of his teammates. Dewing, and the man out in front was McCaslin. Second bite of the cherry, and it falls the way to Mellinson again. Mellinson's got McCaslin on him, but Mellinson runs into trouble instead of just getting it deep. But McCaslin straight out to the penalty box and straight into power play time. And the Panthers need McCaslin. Gets taken hard, gets taken meanly out by Mellinson. I want to be his friend. I don't want to fall out with him. Panthers again on the offense. Moline back to Dewing, back to Moline. Moline heads up. This time goes round for McCaslin. Wasn't a great pass by Moline, disappointing. And now Mellinson again has a time on the puck with 15 seconds left on the kill. And Mellinson's going to run into Wallenberg, but he lets Wallenberg get the backhand pass out to McCaslin. Wallenberg again, nobody standing in front. Now Moline gets there, but a weak pass by Nielsen, and Campbell will beat Dewing to a loose puck. And that's an excellent penalty kill again, I think, by the Basingstoke Bison.
And the Panthers look like they're starting to get a bit frustrated. Mike Ellis is going to have to pull the troops together and try and settle them down.
Petro takes a shot right into the body of Moline. Moline went down there and got shot. Campbell can't quite get there first. Nielsen does, and Dewing just clears the puck all the way down, and the Panthers happy to give an icing up.
Yeah, Dewing and Nielsen both logging a lot of ice time because of all these power play opportunities that they've had so far in this game. And Dewing really sucking on air right there, so you just see him shoot the puck down the ice. But another great block there by the Nottingham Panthers that went down. I didn't see his number.
Linesman just made a bit of an error there. He blew icing before any player was within 20 feet of the puck.
Mellinson taking the body. This is it's a good-looking Bison squad.
Petro out on the back door, takes a shot, but he just fell awkwardly to him. O'Connor helps it on its way. Owen gets taken down by Myers. Nielsen, who's logged a lot of ice time early doors, he's chasing shadows a little bit in the last minute or two. And the Panthers again happy just to chip into the neutral zone as the Bison start to turn the screw. Ben O'Connor to Petro.
See how he cycles back there instead of dumping out the puck and giving it away. O'Connor, smart play, pulling back into his zone and trying to set things up again. Petro
to Cruikshank into the opposite corner. Nielsen just gets his stick to it. Petro gets there first. Nielsen again. He looks tired, does Corey Nielsen. He's logged a lot of ice time on that power play, now on a regular shift as well. And Nielsen looks drained. The Panthers only rotating 4 defensemen. Stick into the face of Ben O'Connor by Myers. It's an accidental eye stick, but he'll get called for it. Matt Myers just goes and taps Ben O'Connor. That's why they wear the visor, and O'Connor skates back to his bench.
Yeah, O'Connor right down right in front of us. And Myers trying to go inside out and gets his stick up high right into O'Connor's mush, and 2-minute minor for high sticking. But as he said, I think they're buddies. So he said, sorry about that. He didn't mean to hit him in the eye, and but nonetheless.
When he goes out for a beer tonight, he'll have that lovely big shine, and the girls will find him even more attractive. Campbell. Power play time then for the Thornton, Campbell and Stewart line on the power play. The other Campbell, Peter Campbell, he drops back onto the point. So plays up front on 5-on-5 and then goes and plays the point on the power play. And that means he's got a howitzer, he's got the big shot, and I think we're going to see any second. Now he sags low, sinks low, so here he is, Campbell. Good rotation as Stewart crosses and Petro takes a shot, hits the blocker of Rovniak. Rovniak then dives on top of the puck as Stewart dives on top of Rovniak.
A good power play workaround by the Bison. You could see them getting it back to Petto on the point, but they'll be frustrated with that shot because it was way too high.
But that's something Nottingham haven't been able to do on the power play. He's gained the zone and passing around nicely and working.
Just did, that was a perfect example of a nice executed passing play. But like I say, he'll be upset with himself for getting that shot so high.
Whistle blows again as Danny Myers finishes a check. About 4 players get up. They're tough boys, Nick, aren't they?
They are. I'm just liking the Bon Jovi right now.
Yeah. So face up on the offensive zone on the power play. Can the Bison extend their 1-goal advantage? Petro gets it out to Campbell. Loose puck out in front. And the other Campbell had a great opportunity, but the puck never found its way to Ravniak.
Some great talented hands on this team, the way they're moving the puck around.
Petro. Nice play by Campbell out to Stewart down the right-hand side. And Stewart is battling for it. The other Campbell, Derek Campbell, comes in and helps him out, and Stewart gets taken down. But the Panthers now clear with Richardson and Wallenberg, and that was offside. Oh, that was a silly play by Patrick Wallenberg, because, they were going to kill another 10-15 seconds of the Bison power play, but he just made the pass and then skated himself offside.
Dave, did you see how the Bison were moving the puck up the ice, and then they eventually got the pass to Stewart, but Stewart was standing still on the blue line, and that's what you have to do on a power play or any situation. You have to have movement getting the blue line, so you don't have to stand there and wait for your players to catch up to you.
Important face-off win from Sean McCaslin. Gives his team puck possession as their killing penalty, and just down below us, Dewin and Cruikshank have a few words, and Cross. 35 seconds left then for the Bison to see if they can extend their lead. A scoreless first period, but that goal by Peter Campbell early on in the second period, the only goal of the match so far. The Bison lead 1-0. Bison doing good work in the corner. They're first to the loose puck until, I think it was Peltier who got there first then, and clears to Melanson. Melanson helps it on its way. Can Kulikov collect? He can.
And PC Druin's doing to the Bison what the Bison have done to them on the PK, is he's going in and forcing and not letting them set up.
Yeah, Percy Druin had a very good first period, and he's continued that in the second period. Cruikshank helps it on its way then, as the teams get back on 5-on-5. 5 minutes remaining. Long outlet pass by Peltier. In fact, that's got to be an icing call. If the Bison touch the puck first, they do. And I don't think anybody would have managed to get hold of that Peltier pass here.
You would have got that in the shins there, buddy.
If we'd have leant over any further, eh? Well, I got to be honest, Nick, I'm liking the look of what I'm seeing from both of these teams, but certainly the Basingstoke Bison have impressed me tonight so far. They've been first to loose pucks.
Yeah, I want to see both teams now stay out of the box. We're over halfway into this game, and it's time to settle down, play some 5-on-5 hockey, and let's see what these teams really can do.
So under 5 minutes then remaining, and the puck's back with Braff. Takes a shot. Goal. He got ricocheted off not one but two shin pads, and the Panthers can't clear. Weak play by Ferreira as the puck is redirected in front of Rovniak's goal. Stancock takes his man. It's Derek Campbell, and he turns on a sixpence, makes a forehand pass out to Peter Campbell, looking for Thornton out in front. Couldn't do so. Schmier, the first line of the Bison against the third line of the Panthers. The Panthers recognise that, and they make a change as Peltier comes off. So does Stancock, but it's only the defensemen that change. Campbell, nice little pass by Campbell, and Jarvis just falls over. The fans want a penalty, but Nigel Boniface, the referee, just laughs and says, no. No, Jarvis can't skate properly. That's not a penalty. The big man Jarvis, he's had a rough middle session.
He'll blame the blue line.
He'll blame. Somebody painted it too deep. Nice play by Campbell. Then takes a shot. Then takes a second shot. His first one was intercepted.
Just turned Wallenberg inside out there.
He's playing well, is Peter Campbell. Very well. So are all the Basingstoke Bison right now. They've just got the upper hand, but they'll feel that they want another goal. One goal not enough. Campbell tries to turn. Gets a punch in the head, and Thornton gets a punch in the head from Nielsen, and then Campbell runs into Stancock. McCaslin, and I have to say, as I have done in the other two times we've commentated on Nottingham, if it's not coming from McCaslin, it ain't coming at all right now for the Nottingham Panthers offensively. Nice and pretty, but no end product.
like referee Nigel Boniface, a couple of times, you know, you could say he could have called a penalty, but he's letting things flow now. He's letting the game open up.
McCaslin heads up play, looking for some options. Wasn't any, so he just has to chip the puck in, and then somebody has to go and get it. Myers was beaten to the puck by Melanson, and now Cruikshank with a east to west pass to Chambers, who goes straight past Peltier. They're looking for Cruikshank as the trailer, and now they could have a 3-on-2 if they play this one right. Peltier again, but he stood up by Melanson on the blue line, run over by Melanson, walked all over by Melanson. God, I bet he had a lot of friends at school, that Melanson. Owen just chips it all the way down, and the goalie will touch it first, so icing will not be called as Robniuk falls over after firing that puck around. Matt Myers, red line, blue line to Richardson. Richardson couldn't control it. It was an awful pass by Myers. Petro now collects behind his own goal, and straightforward pass out to Kulikov. Everything's uncomplicated with the Bison, isn't it?
And they're hitting the tape with the passes as well. Makes things a lot easier. You see Nottingham on that last play there, a bad pass, and then you get the turnaround.
Greg Wood gets out to the left-hand side. Nice pass by Wood. Breaks on by Kulikov. Got good skills, the Slava Kulikov. Now back to Greg Wood, and they'll just get a cycle going here. Third line against second line here, and the Bison's third line have hurried and harried and have just outworked Nottingham. Down low, Stewart is waiting in front. They keep a man high. It's Wood who's high at the moment. And as the Panthers break, they haven't got a one-man advantage. Here's Jewin. Picks up on a loose puck. The Panthers go for a change. So Jewin hasn't got an awful lot of support. He's manhandled a little bit down low. Petro's going to come in on Moline. And the puck is loose out in front. And perhaps Jewin was a little unlucky not to get caught there.
Do you know what? As you say, he's not getting any support, though, Dave. You know, he's looking around for guys to hit with passes, and there's just no one there for him.
As the Panthers break down the left-hand side, the Bison take a change. Moline has got Wallenberg in front of him, and Wallenberg just skated offside again. Get back out of the zone, man. He does now. And McCaslin goes in on the forecheck. 42 seconds remain then in this second period, a period that the Bison have scored the only goal of. Peter Campbell, last chance as Wallenberg gets taken out. Wallenberg, Moline's looking for it. Moline doesn't get it. It's still Wallenberg on the backhand, out to McCaslin, but he's standing still. Now it's Moline. Nice little pass to Wallenberg. Moline, McCaslin, oh, and he just got too much of it. And now Thornton will clear through the neutral zone, but some good chances there for the Panthers.
Best setup the Panthers have had there, and Steve Thornton just doing the smart thing and clearing it down the ice.
This period just ticking down, and I think the referee will allow it to tick down all the way through till we get to the end of the hooter. And Nick, just the one goal to report on, and the Bison deserve their lead.
They do. One goal up, and a really, really great period of hockey by the Bison, killing a lot of penalties. And we can see here the one goal from Campbell as he steps across the blue line into the high slot. A lot of traffic going to the net, getting in front of Ravniuk, buries it up high to get a one-goal lead. But I'll tell you what, the Panthers won't be too despondent. One goal down on the road and 20 minutes to play.
Definitely not despondent at all. But I do think the Basingstoke Bison will be a bit disappointed just being the one goal up. But I tell you, we've had two good periods, and I'm sure there's a good third period still to come. We hope you will join us. It's the Bison 1, the Panthers 0 at the end of 2. Don't go away, we'll be back soon. Very good evening back to you all. We're in Basingstoke, where it's the Bison 1, the Panthers 0 at the end of two periods, Nick. And we've just said probably the best game that we've seen so far this year.
Definitely out of the games that we've done so far, Dave. The Basingstoke Bison, thoroughly enjoyed seeing them play. They're fast skating, hard hitting. They came right out of the gate and haven't let the Nottingham Panthers settle down yet. You can see the shots on net there for the second period. Lyle facing 11 and Rovniak 7, and then the total, you can just see how close this game is, and just the one goal separating them.
Third time though we've seen the Nottingham Panthers, and in those three games they've outshot the opposition on every occasion, but they're yet to beat the opposition on any occasion here on the TV.
Well, I'll tell you what. Right now, the penalty minutes there you can see in the second period. That's what the Bison are going to not want to do is get into the box again, because if you do keep giving the Panthers chances, they will capitalize. They're only 1 goal down on the road, and I think we're in for a very interesting 20 minutes.
So we're just about ready to go then with the start of this third period. There's Rovniak, the Nottingham Panthers goalie, just beaten the once. That goal by Peter Campbell.
And not a lot he could have done on that. He had a lot of guys going to the net. Peter Campbell coming in off of the blue line. And like I say, you don't want to cut in on the blue line because you're really setting yourself up to get your head knocked off. But
Derek Campbell just drove
to the net.
Young Myers into the net, and there was a lot of traffic in front of him.
Yeah, and Ravniak couldn't see anything, and it goes high up into the corner where Grandma keeps the cookie jar.
She does indeed. Nigel Boniface is the man in charge, the only Canadian referee in the BMI Baby Elite League.
From my home province,
Saskatchewan.
Yes. But
I said to him today, where are you from, Eastbourne or Regina? He says, oh, Regina sounds better. So apologies for all of you watching in Eastbourne. But here we go. Campbell and Wallenberg in the face-off circle. Face-off win, clean win as well by Campbell. I've got a new best friend. I'll tell you who he is as soon as he touches the puck, and I thought it was about to go to him. That's Melanson. We do like him. We like him a lot. All the way down to where Nielsen will collect.
I'll see if I can get his phone number for you, Dave.
Can you? If you can. I know where he'll be playing next year. Here's McCaslin, just rims it round the boards to Moline. Moline just helps it on its way. Thornton hacks and chops as they try and find Campbell, and they get it to Campbell, and the Bison will break. With the other Campbell, Peter Campbell, the goal scorer, hits the blue line and rips it into the blocker of Rovniak.
And again, rebound into the corner.
Wallenberg collects. His new first unit for the Nottingham Panthers with McCaslin, Wallenberg and Moline. Tuck with the captain of Nottingham. He's had a 17-minute penalty early doors in the first period for a fight, and McCaslin's going to be needed on the ice. Long outlet pass. Up in the air, hits the gantry just above our heads, and whistle blows, and a face-off in the neutral zone.
Yeah, again, we talked about the era of the super arenas, and even though you got a big ice pad here, the ceiling is a little bit lower than it is in Nottingham.
The ceiling is higher in your lounge, Nick, than it is.
There's head coach Mike Ellis, and like I said,
how do you think he feels right now? Because
he's all right. He's all right. His team's played okay, and they're only 1 goal down on the road. And like I say, with his sharpshooters out there, anything can happen, and they can plug back this 1 goal deficit quite easily.
The Panthers need a road victory. They're 1-4 at the moment. 1 win, 4 losses on the road this season, and that's not good enough for a title contender. And Nottingham certainly consider themselves to be just that. Owen does a great job, cuts out inside. Oh, and he dropped past for Cruikshank, but he wasn't there. Cruikshank has been taken to the net.
Interference call.
Is it on Stancock or is it on Cruikshank? I think it could well be on Stancock.
But you know what, Dave? You talk about teams wanting to play a full 60 minutes of hockey. And right now we haven't seen the Bison with any mental errors so far. You can see the penalty, the interference call coming against the Nottingham Panthers, hauling down his guy in front of the net. We haven't seen the Nottingham Panthers have any mental breaks yet. And normally you do one for about 3 or 4 minutes of a game. You can go into a bit of a lapse, and that's what the Panthers are going to be looking for. And now Bison have a power play opportunity.
Power play time then. Watching for the first time, don't know what a power play is? Count the white shirts, there's 5 of them plus the goalie. Count the black shirts, there's 4 of them plus the goalie. With Stancock sitting out the next 2 minutes, Basingstoke have that 1-man advantage, and they call that the power play, and the Panthers are on the penalty kill. And here is Campbell, steps out inside, chance at the back door, fell to Stewart. I thought Campbell actually should have shot it, because Stewart was all tied up there.
He was tied up by Big Schmear.
Yeah, and Campbell just cut inside. Here's the other Campbell, Derry gets it across to Petro. Petro's going to fire one through traffic, hits the glove of Rovniak. Rovniak didn't know too much about it, and the Panthers clear. Petro collects. Panthers take the line change. They get the puck back to Thornton, back to Petro, and a nice pass. Petro goes round the back of the net. Stewart's waiting for it. So's Peter Campbell. Peter Campbell's just the one side. Goes instead back to Petro. Through traffic. Oh, and it just trickled through, and it hit a couple of skates and an elbow pad and a shin pad And the whistle blows as the net is knocked off its mooring. But the Bison do get the puck to the net.
And you know, we always say you don't have to break the glass with a shot from the point. Petto just finding his target, and the puck goes bouncing, bobbly. He could take any kind of deflection, and Ravnik going down, and him going down actually caused the net to be moved off its moorings.
Face-off with Grego into the Bison in the circle. Up against McCaslin, and McCaslin with a win, and the Panthers try and clear only as far as Melanson. Panthers have a second bite of the cherry, this time only as far as Chambers. Why don't they just come straight down the middle and hammer it out? Here's Melanson. Tries to get one in front of Rovniak, and he just bounced over a couple of sticks. Danny Myers gets a late hit from Cruikshank, but Myers was first into the corner and helped the puck all the way back out, where Melanson moves the puck forward. Cruikshank will chip it in. Owen can't quite get there. Good play from Danny Myers. As Chambers comes forward. Matt Myers, they're not related, Matt and Danny, and Matt Myers just bangs one off the boards, and all of a sudden there's a little bit of time. If Richardson can get there first, he managed to beat Chambers, but he won't beat Melanson. He hurries Melanson, but Melanson skates away with it. It's the red, it's the blue, but can't get it in deep. Ben O'Connor comes off the bench.
All of his guys static on the blue line.
Ben O'Connor gave the puck up and then took it back off Myers as the Panthers are back to full strength, and we're back 5-on-5. Richardson hits the red line, can't get it in deep, intercept by Kulikov, now a collect by Wood. Back to Melanson, who just takes it for a change as both teams take that opportunity for a line change. Stewart will go to the left and now collects. Intercepted by Myers, who's got Moline and McCaslin ahead of him, just offside.
Just tight. You can see the intent there by the Panthers. McCaslin obviously knowing he couldn't slow up, and the pass just not getting to him on time.
Just under 16 minutes remaining then. Third period, that Peter Campbell goal separating the two teams at the moment.
Yeah, stick's getting a little high there, eh?
Yeah, Matt Myers, who's got one of his #1 fans in the building this evening, Johnny Shoestring catcher. Moline's got it now, and a goal for Patrick Wallenberg. What a lovely feed by Moline to Wallenberg on the 5-on-5 play. And Wallenberg shoots and scores, and all of a sudden, the Panthers are back in this one.
That's right, Dave. We said they're only one shot away from tying this game up, and gain the blue line, good movement across ice, and then a nice pass through the slot, through the house by Moline, and a nice one-timer. And he beats Stevie Lyle. He stacks the pads and tries to slide across.
Something from nothing, eh? Something from nothing. Face-off wing, get good possession, and you've got to drive the net, and Wallenberg did just that. How many shows have we talked about driving the net and getting in front of the opposition's goalie, and Patrick Wallenberg just drove the net there.
It's just the rules of hockey, Dave.
It is. And all that good work from the Bison, and they're going to have a chance here with Peter Campbell. Jarvis should have done better. Jarvis there with a weak wrist shot, and he had most of the goal to shoot at.
Great
and Robinyak just got back to it.
Great movement by the Bison in the zone, and then again, wonderful pass. A little bit, he had to get it up and over, so it got a little bit wobbly, and I think he had more time to bring that down, Jarvis did, than he thought, and he one-times it, and if he would have corralled it, he probably could have had a chance to stick it up high, but Ravniak with a great save.
Well, we've got a game on here, 16 minutes or so remaining, and it's 1-1. Thornton behind the goal gets taken out of the play. Here come the Panthers down the right-hand side with Peltier. Hits the red line, cross-ice dump. Myers has worked hard to get to the loose puck first. Now a turnover with the Bison, 3-on-2 if they play this one well. Campbell, he's put Stancock out of action there, and he couldn't just get the puck out to Jarvis. What a nice move by Campbell on Stancock. Back from the other way, Drewin. Myers drives the net. Drewin tries to find him, and Myers goes down and takes Stevie Lyle and the net off its moorings.
Great move by Campbell, and I think Stancock's shorts are up in the rafters somewhere.
Important that Myers goes to the net.
Yeah,
does just that.
You know, Drewin just throwing the puck to the net, and both guys driving. But look at that move by Campbell, outside, inside, and then outside. And like I say, Stancock's shorts are probably somewhere in the rafters.
Give Stancock a ticket back in. Bison will come down the left-hand side, and it's with Petro, who chips high into the into the ceiling. Lucky he didn't bring a light down with him. So a little quiet couple of minutes, Nick, between since that goal. Both teams just feeling each other out a little bit. It's been frenetic up until now.
On that dump, Dave, the Bison have gone away from firing it into the corners, cross ice or on the strong side, and they're going for little flip passes. You know, a flip pass, but you know what I mean. They're trying to flip it into the corners instead, hitting the rafters.
Druin chips out, collected by Petro, who gets an intercept from Moline. Back out to Levers, there's a man at the back door, and it was McCaslin. Owen gets the puck down the left-hand side to Cruikshank, and he'll try and drive inside. Rovaniuk makes the stop and then keeps the puck somewhere in his pads. I don't think he really knows where they are, but when Cruikshank does get the puck, we mentioned the word magnet in the first period, Cruikshank just goes straight to the net.
Here you can see another move to the outside, driving to the net, and Rovaniuk closing the door. As I said, both goalies been outstanding so far.
A battle of the third units now. Bison and Panthers put in their third offensive lines out there. Stancock helps it to Schmier, who's got Levers ahead of him, but the pass intercepted. Schmier's pass not a good one. Back in it goes again by the Bison. Stewart gets there. Stancock helps it on its way, but Wood again. Stancock a little timid on the puck, shall we say, in the far corner. Panthers with Ferreira get it forward to Lyle, who just makes an aimless play down the middle. Collected Peltier, but Schmier's going to be offside, so Peltier has to turn round and puts a blind pass out to Melanson. Melanson, top of the circle, puts the brakes on, pulls a nice move. Nobody really wants to challenge Melanson, but then Druin does, and that's what Druin's got to do. Well played, PC Druin, get involved. Ferreira bangs one off the boards through the neutral zone, and both teams trying to keep it out of the middle and keep it along the boards to limit the errors. Puck just comes in front of our commentary position, where it's collected by Jarvis. East to west to Melanson. Stewart's waiting for it at centre ice, doesn't get it, and the Panthers break. Myers has got Druin to his left. I thought Druin was offside there, but Myers did a pretty good job, but not as good as Jarvis did on Myers, forcing him into the neutral zone. Jarvis taking the body and using that big body. Druin gets it to the right-hand side, collected Myers. Myers steps out inside. Richardson was waiting for it. Danny Myers just throws a weak wrist shot, but Jarvis gets to it and commits the body. And do they get the puck out? Yes, they do. Danny Myers down below us, collects Thornton. What a lovely play to Campbell. Campbell head down. Is he going to get a shot away? He did, and Rovaniuk never knew a thing about it. And he just whistled past his left ear. So a little bit of offence, and that's the first chance since the Panthers equalised that the Basingstoke Bison have been able to kind of get an odd man break and force a scoring opportunity.
Both teams with a couple of giveaways forced by the fact that both teams are forechecking quite hard, causing players to give the puck away and creating some scoring opportunities. Just
over 12 minutes remaining as Peltier puts the brakes on. Moline to his right. Will he find Moline? No, he goes to the left-hand side, and Wallenberg takes it in his ankle. Couldn't get good puck control. It's end-to-end stuff here at the Basingstoke Arena, and it's been one of our better games. Here's Peter Campbell, hits the red line, just chips it in. I think I'll go for a change now, he says. He does. Quick line rotation from both of these teams. They're trying to get fresh legs out there as much as they can. Are we entering our first overtime, I wonder, Nick? Owen just helps it on its way.
I left the crystal ball at home, Dave. Not quite sure, but yeah, it stays like this, we're going to be heading into overtime where...
well, both teams are going to skate 4 players on 4 instead of the 5 you see on 5 at the moment. Overtime is 5 minutes, sudden death, 4 on 4, and if we're still scoreless, then we go to penalty shots. Then it really gets exciting. Jarvis helps it on its way to Owen, who goes chasing it. Myers will get there first. His GB teammate Owen finishes a hit on Myers. Chambers tries to step inside, but it's the Panthers who break with Levers. Levers hits the red line, but can't get it in deep. Rebound falls fortunately for him. Cruikshank hammers him into the boards with a late left elbow to the back of the head. Levers goes down like a sack of spuds. It was a nice big hit, though. It was lucky for Cruikshank that the referee Nigel Boniface didn't see that. Myers collects with Kulikov on the forecheck. Ben O'Connor steps up and hits the red line and chips it in. Robin Young's playing at something. What is he doing behind his own goal there? And that just forces the possession to the Basingstoke Bison. And Robin Young, for just wasting time there and playing around with it, put his team in a little bit of predicament. And when you're on the road here in Basingstoke, you don't want to give the Bison anything. Myers from an acute angle, but it gets deflected, and Greg Wood will just bang off the boards, and it's into the glove of Stancock, who gets run over by Braff. Richardson steps in, and the puck ends up in the bench, just over the Basingstoke Bison bench. We'll see Cruikshank again, just hits. Bang into the boards.
Well, you know, that was a little bit late from behind. And,
a little bit late. They timed it with a calendar.
Well, you know. But Nigel Boniface, he can't see everything.
Well, you know what? That's how late it was. It was that late. Nigel had taken his eyes away from things. McCasland. Wallenberg gets it down the left-hand side where Molin and Braff collide, but good work from Ben O'Connor. Here's Campbell, Derek Campbell gets it out of Peter Campbell. Thornton's the trailer. Derek Campbell gets taken out of the play well by McCasland. McCasland's the furthest forward player, then the furthest defensive player, working both ends of the ice. He did have 17 minutes off, mind you, in the first period. Ben O'Connor stood up on Moline, and Moline just got around the outside of him. O'Connor has now got the puck behind Lyle's goal. We're into the final 10 minutes, folks. Third period. Outlet pass to Petro. Petro hits the red line, hits the blue line, chips it in. Goes chasing his own dump and gets there first. Panthers just trying to clear, but can only get it to Greg Owen, who stepped up. Petro just kind of fanned on that, and Nielsen is doing his Jane Torval and Christopher Dean down there, and he fortunately got away with it. Hits the red line. Ferrara on the right-hand side will get into the corner first. Dumps it back to Levers. Levers just gets a weak shot, tries to get it on Lyle. Nielsen gets it back to Schmier, but Schmier's shot was intercepted. And here's Melanson. Melanson, red line. Can't get it in deep, just overplays it a little bit. Chambers. Back to Melanson, that's better from Melanson. When Melanson plays it simple, he is very effective. Wood gets taken out of the play. And here come the Panthers with Peltier. Peltier skates very effectively, still Peltier. Peltier had options there and decided to go it alone. Druin tries to get the cycle going. Richardson can't protect the puck as well as he would have liked. Myers comes in for a bit of a help. Stewart just digs in there. I do like that Stewart, and he's done a good job. 3-on-2 break here. Kulikov to the left of Jarvis. Jarvis can't find him, but the puck still finds it to Kulikov. Stewart helps it on its way. Wood can't collect, and the Panthers with Druin have a little bit of time. And Peltier's just looking for a change. He's been out there too long. I think Druin will just try and get to the red line, chip it in, goes for a change. Richardson stays out there. Stewart. Corey Nielsen, and Stevie Lars got his glove up in the air. He's telling Jarvis he's got a moment of time. Braff, long pass to Stewart, but he's in his own half of the ice, so he can't just rim it, so he just has to bang one off the boards. Myers tries to go out the outside of Stewart, and he does a pretty good job as well. Braff takes his man into the boards and takes him into the boards hard. Kulikov is waiting for the puck, but he doesn't get it. Instead he goes to Steve Thornton, steps on a sixpence. Nice play by Thornton, looking for some support. McCaslin down the right-hand side.
Neither team now, Dave, looking to take any big chances. Most of the game being played in the neutral zone in the middle of the rink. Both teams are making sure they've got three guys back, and you can see maybe the offensive chances that we saw in the first 40. They're coming further and further apart.
Here's Moline. What a nice play by Moline. Gets taken down. Is there going to be a penalty? Yes, there is. And I think, Nick, that's what you describe as a good penalty, because Moline pulled a fair few moves there to get away from Melanson, and Melanson didn't really have an option but to take his man down.
Yeah, Moline coming in and sliding all the way across, taking his feet out from him, and it's the tripping call. But yeah, again, a penalty that you don't mind taking there, even though there's 6.5 minutes to go. It's a dangerous time of the game to give away a penalty. But I suppose I'd rather that than have him go 1-on-0 and create a great scoring chance.
Power play time for the Nottingham Panthers. 6.5 minutes remain, 2 minutes on the power play. In the words of Bonnie Tyler, we're looking out for a hero. And is he going to be wearing the black and gold of the Nottingham Panthers? Big hit from Braff, but Owen will get there first. And he'll just fire down, but he only gets just into the neutral zone. Collected Stancock loses out on a loose puck.
I'm going to have to make sure you don't short circuit.
Very good, very good.
That was a good move. Yeah.
Panthers down the right-hand side, intercepted by Stewart. Peltier steps in and it's scruffy, and here's Owen. Fakes the shot, but the Panthers are failing to get good puck possession. They can't get into the offensive zone and set up their play. Here's Matt Myers. Had a good game, Matt Myers. McCaslin just ahead of him, so's Peltier. Peltier collects, takes a shot from distance right into the body of Lyle, and then Peltier follows through to make sure Lyle doesn't distribute the puck.
Smart play by Lyle, taking that one right in the breadbasket, but seeing if he could actually have played it to one of his defensemen. And obviously he couldn't, so he held on for the face-off. But you could see he looks up, sees if he could dish it off to his defenseman, who may have been out to fire it down the ice, but no one had any room, and he held on for the face-off.
I've been impressed with Peltier, actually, in the 3 games that we've seen him. Bison just clear. 1 minute remaining in their power play as Rovanyuk just settles the puck down, collected by Nielsen. Nielsen so key on the power play. Moline got McCaslin one way. Wallenberg's waiting for it. Goes instead to Druin. Nielsen's got the trigger cock, but instead Druin loses out. Campbell, headman's top of the circle, rips it. Second bite of the cherry, drives Nielsen. Nielsen finishes on Campbell. McCaslin wanted that puck. Here's Druin. Top of the circle, fires one straight into the legs, and the stick has broken a Braff. On the power play, Moline with a shot denied by Lyle. Such an important save by Stevie Lyle. His defenseman Braff's stick had broken. It basically made Braff redundant. And a good scoring opportunity and a quick glove by Lyle.
And you see that you saw Campbell have that short-handed opportunity earlier on. He fired it down the ice. He went down on the ice and fired it on goal, and then that gave the Nottingham Panthers this opportunity here as Campbell got caught off ice. It's always nice to score a short-handed goal, but you can't leave your team with only 3 guys down there.
Are we going to curse the Bison by saying that they've killed penalties well here at the Basingstoke Arena? There's only 12 seconds left as they clear it once again.
And there's no nonsense. Really good job against we talked, the Coventry's Blaze have probably one of the best power plays in the league, but Nottingham Panthers are not far off with, like I say, about 25%.
Moline on a drop pass to McCaslin as the Bison go full strength. And McCaslin's shot was a weak one, high over the shoulder of Stevie Lyle. He got his glove up to it well, made the save. We're in the final 5 minutes, folks, 1-1.
And Bison's goalkeeper, Stevie Lyle, he's just daring him to fire into his glove because, I'm going to save these all night, guys. He's looking really, really confident back there.
Well, it's a hard one to call. Can the Panthers get just their 2nd road win of the season here in Basingstoke? Peltier, and he just crossed the blue line a millisecond before Richardson. Offside called.
Both head coaches here, Ryan Aldridge for the Basingstoke Bison. He's done a good job, and now his team just killed another penalty, and Mike Ellis is going to be frustrated with that. And both teams with 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go, you can see them really kind of shutting down and closing down the neutral zones. And
they'll start to think about their penalty shooters as well, because even though we have to go through overtime before we get to the penalty shots, it's at the end of regulation that the 2 coaches give their 3 shooters to the referee and to the timekeepers. So in a couple of minutes, big shot comes in from Peltier. Thornton does a nice job, just clears through the neutral zone. Campbell is the man looking tired as he forces Peltier into a corner. Does a good job as Peltier goes east to west, finds Stancock. And Richardson just loses the puck, a turnover. Peter Campbell gets it back to Petro. Here's Peter Campbell again, got the big cannon, and he fires it right down the belly button of Rovniak, and you might think that's an aimless play, Nick, but it gets a face-up in the offensive zone.
It does, but like I said to you, the drives to the net and filling in the lanes, both teams now are going to settle for those shots, because I don't think they're going to want to send 2 and 3 guys in on down low and then perhaps get caught on a counterattack.
Greg Owen in the face-off circle needs to win it and try and draw it back to Ben O'Connor. He can't, and Moline instead will break as the Bison defensemen step up. They've got a 3-on-2 here, actually, the Panthers, and it's offside, and that's a dumb move, because when you've got a 3-on-2 with less than 3.5 minutes remaining, you've got to make sure that the puck carrier carries the puck into the offensive zone first, and the Panthers just strayed there offside. Oh, that's infuriating. You're tired, you're exhausted.
It'll frustrate Mike Ellis, and it'll frustrate the rest of the players. Like you say, you know, you got an odd man break there, and you're offside, and it'll frustrate everybody.
And we haven't seen the Basingstoke Bison have too many odd man rushes against them. That was one of the first ones. Myers just fans on the puck there and has to turn around and come and get it back. Owen on the forward check hard and giving the Panthers no time on the puck. Here's Moline down the right-hand side. Tries to make something happen, but Ben O'Connor does a pretty good job of him. And the bouncing puck just ends up over the plexiglass.
See what, Dave, I'm actually looking forward to overtime. We haven't had overtime yet on Sky Sports, and I'm looking forward to it. I really don't want this game to end. It's been really full of a lot of action and really good, high quality. I've been impressed a heck of a lot with these Basingstoke Bison.
Well, a lot's been said about the Basingstoke Bison. They were a team that are used to finishing 7th, 8th, 9th in the league. They really have invested. They've spent some good money. This is a high-profile team they've got that the people of Basingstoke should come out and support. And
the City of Donuts, they have a great ice hockey team.
They should have it. They should come out and support this team, because I'm telling you, this is the best Basingstoke team I can remember for a long time. Some star players. Here's Petro. As good as overtime now, really. If a team scores now, it's going to be so hard to come back. And Petro had an opportunity, almost at the second bite of the cherry there. But Danny Myers clears through traffic all the way down behind the goal. Melanson.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the ladies before the game, and she said, you know, Basingstoke is known as the Stoke and also the City of Donuts. And I was thinking, well, do they eat a lot of donuts? And she said, no, it's because of all the roundabouts.
Oh, right.
Right, so...
You see, you told me that at the start of the night, and I thought I've never seen any donuts.
Yeah,
in
well, when she
Basingstoke.
said City of Donuts, I was looking forward to a French cooler. Big
Myers dives right over the top of Petro, who collects, goes east to west to Campbell, who can't control. Richardson, here's Druin. Druin gets his stick slashed out of him. Still got the puck as Myers gets it taken off him now by Melanson. Good hit by
such
Melanson.
a tough hockey player.
He is so
Plays
mean.
tough.
He's mean. Nasty mean.
He just finishes his checks, you know, 58 minutes gone, and you're still running and gunning like that. And his bench will be looking at him and going, come on, guys, look, this guy is still taking the body. That's what's got us here so far. Let's go right to the end of this game and
he keeps players honest,
bruise
doesn't
them
he?
up. Look at this great hit.
He keeps players honest, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
He's keeping the Panthers honest right now. McCaslin in the face-off circle against Steve Thornton, and Thornton gets kicked out. Campbell comes in. McCaslin versus Campbell. Face-off with McCaslin. Does that a lot, does Sean McCaslin. But Thornton jumps in on a loose puck. Just plays Peltier around the boards and gets the puck in deep. Into the final 2 minutes then of regulation 5-on-5 play with Moline. Moline gets the puck forward as far as Wallenberg. Petro. Quite a nice pass at the end of the day, but a high-risk strategy. Chambers just got a bit of it. Helped on its way by Owen. Jarvis bangs off the boards. It's all scrappy now. Wallenberg gets a late hit. McCaslin can't help it on its way. And Stancock goes for a change as Cruikshank goes east to west and finds Jarvis. Drop pass to Braff. Back out to Cruikshank. Tries to get it in deep. And both teams are trying to get the puck in deep, and they're struggling at the moment because every single person is just cramming the neutral zone, Nick, right now.
Yeah, as I said, you know, about 5 minutes ago, both teams, I think, were ready to shut up shop and head for overtime.
Danny Myers, is this the last chance saloon then for the Nottingham Panthers? Wallenberg down the left-hand side. Lever's got taken out of the play there. Braff just chips into the neutral zone. Oh, and it was a good job Nielsen got to that because Chambers was away.
Chambers had a head of steam up.
Good hand-eye coordination by Nielsen. Players look tired at the moment. Campbell doesn't take Myers down. Myers thought he did. And the whistle blows. And both teams would just take overtime right now because they're looking tired. They've given us a great night here so far, though.
They have, you know what, Nottingham coming here on the road. It's a big bus trip down. And, you know, it took them a few minutes to get going with Basingstoke all over them in that first period. But been impressed with both teams, especially the work ethic, you know, and the big guns that we talked about, raising their game, the PC Druins of this world. Really a lot of effort, had 100% effort in these games, in this game.
You know, I've been critical of Druin in the past, but for perhaps a lack of effort on the road. Certainly no lack of effort off him tonight. He's tried to make things happen. Last bite of the cherry for Campbell. Pecho just gets it in deep. Seconds just counting down. We're heading to overtime. Moline will just hit the red line and chip it in. Less than 10 seconds remain as Mellinson gets it. Well, Mellinson gets it taken off him, but just protect the puck in the corner and watch the clock tick down. The clock has kicked down.
We've got a penalty call on this play, and from a hit me from behind or a boarding call, but I think we've seen our first mental area of the game, Dave.
And it's from Mellinson, and Mellinson's not happy about it. And Stevie Thornton comes across to have a word with the referee.
Yeah, Mellinson's just stepping in. Didn't need to do it. You can see very frustrated, but that's a penalty.
Well, if it's a penalty in the first minute, it's a penalty in the last minute.
Exactly, yeah. You know, a lot of people will say right away, referees tend to put their whistle away in the last couple of minutes of a tied game. They're going to let players play, but that was a silly penalty. And, of course, it gives the Nottingham Panthers the advantage in overtime. And overtime is about to come our way. Our first overtime of the BMI Baby Elite League season is coming right now, and I'm getting excited. This is going to be quick. It's a 4-on-3 power play for the Nottingham Panthers to start overtime off with. And it's Thornton short-handed who gets the first shot on. Campbell's out there as well. And the Nottingham Panthers, 4-on-4 is designed to give us so much more ice, but now you've got a power play, 4-on-3, just 7 skaters on this big 60x30 pad. And the Panthers have got to use that space and time and try and capitalise on this two-man advantage. With Mellinson offering the 2 and 10 check-in behind penalty. Here's Nielsen, back to Druin on the one-timer to McCaslin. McCaslin back to Druin, who hammers one, kicked away by Stevie Lyle. Wallenberg gets it back out to McCaslin, to Nielsen. Nielsen's going to wait for Druin, instead goes to McCaslin. Nielsen nods, gets it back, starts to rotate. Druin finds himself free. McCaslin comes to the top. Goes out, awful pass to Druin. 55 seconds, skated or counted down. Chance out in front for Wallenberg, and the Basingstoke Bison get there first. Get a line change as they clear all the way down. You know what I loved about that was Steve Thornton off the draw there to start things so cheekily. Tried to take it in and get a shot on goal.
Druin. Drop pass to Nielsen. Druin's waiting for it. Instead, McCaslin tried the long pass to Corey Nielsen. McCaslin still got the puck. Danny Stewart forcing him. Back out, though, to Druin. Back to McCaslin. McCaslin to Druin on a one-timer. Oh, it got deflected by Wallenberg. Chance for Nielsen, and super job by Stevie Lyle, who had great lateral movement to get across from right to left. What a super stop the second stop was.
He is Britain's #1, and you can see why with that howitzer of a shot from the point from Druin. And I think that it got a deflection up over. And then look at how fast he gets back and ready. Gets the pad stacked up against the corner of the post. His slide and the momentum took the net off its mooring, but still really great awareness from Steve Lyle.
They've killed well already in this first 60 minutes of the game, and they've killed pretty well in the 91 seconds that have elapsed since. Referee not happy with that face-off. Moline in the circle. Moline and Campbell. And Campbell won it and just forced the puck forward on a nice play as Thornton. Design play as Thornton gets down the right-hand side. No penalty as Thornton was ambushed, if you like. Here goes Matt Myers, got Moline one way. Myers headmans, goes round the outside of Petro. Stancock keeps the puck in. Myers is looking for it. Stancock takes a long shot, kicked away Lyle, collected Myers. Moline just in front. Here's Matt Myers. Danny Myers is sneaking in at the back door. Here is Danny Myers, can't quite control that pass. Kulikov's back on the ice. There's a chance out in front here with Moline. And now the Bison are 4-on-4 in overtime. It's going to be end-to-end stuff. Full strength, Kulikov. Still Kulikov, Myers and Thornton battle. Kulikov still got it. And the net is off its moorings, and the whistle has blown, and nobody in this building has heard it.
Another heads-up play there from Steve Thornton, who ran that pick behind the goal to give Kulikov a chance to round the net and get a scoring chance. But unfortunately, there's too much traffic behind the goal, and the net got knocked off of its mooring. And now we're 4-on-4, Dave, and let's see what happens in the next 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Steve Thornton's lost none of his agility and guile, has he?
And his cheekiness. You know, he's just we saw off that draw. That was a design play to try and send him on a break.
Stewart wins the face-off, back to Jarvis. Is he going to have a shot of it? No, but Derek Campbell will. He shoots, and there's a loose puck out in front. And Stewart couldn't quite get there. McCaslin breaks down the left-hand side. End-to-end stuff, McCaslin faces the pass. Druin takes the shot, gets deflected. Slash comes in from Stewart. Nielsen can't quite keep the puck in. Nielsen's going to go. Oh, I thought he was coming out to Peltier, but no, instead goes to Druin, who gives it Nielsen back. Nielsen has logged that much ice time tonight. Nielsen to Druin, nice pass to Peltier. Peltier's going to take a shot, and denied by Lyle. And I heard a whistle, but it wasn't the referees. Campbell with a moment on the puck as we hit the final 2 minutes of sudden death overtime. It's your golden goal time. Who's going to be the hero? Both teams take a change, and Owen comes with speed on the left-hand side, but Jarvis doesn't find him, and Jarvis has put himself and his team in trouble here. And Moline and Wallenberg are out hustling. Wallenberg did a pretty good job on that forecheck. Petro has got to get it out, and he does get it out. Owen steps inside, but loses out to Moline. Moline, top of the circle. Oh, nice good chance, Moline. Nice play. Jarvis directs the puck back into traffic and gets away with it. End-to-end stuff, and the Panthers are pressing hard in the final 80 seconds of sudden death overtime. They go for a change. Are lucky to not get called too many men.
Myers skating out there like it's the first shift of the game. Just incredible energy still.
Ben O'Connor dumps it down, but nobody wants to go and get it. They want to change, and Petro and O'Connor are kind of left here to face Myers as he comes down the right-hand side. Pulls a move, fires it into the body of Lyle. He gave a half chance of a rebound, a little bit of afters with Petro and Myers. But Lyle and Myers just exchange winks and have a little tap with each other. 61 seconds, Nick.
Yeah, 61 seconds to go, and Steve Lyle again shutting the door. And you've got to say, in this overtime period, he's faced a couple of shots. And if I was the Nottingham Panthers, I'd definitely try and keep it away from his glove side, because he's just really, really hot on that side.
Down at the other end, of course, Rovniak made his name for the Nottingham Panthers in penalty shootout competitions last year, as the Panthers won 3 of the 4 playoff games on a penalty shootout. Rovniak was outstanding, and that won him his contract back. But here's Nielsen, fires one, it got deflected as well. Peltier, he couldn't just bounce for him, and Thornton on a breakaway. Thornton to win it. Thornton gets taken down, and a penalty will be called. With 50 seconds, is it going to be a penalty shot? You saw Campbell go to referee Nigel Boniface.
He says no,
with his hands up.
Steve Thornton just ran with legs going and going and going, and Nielsen had no chance but to pull him down. And the Basingstoke Bison were looking for a penalty shot, which of course, if Thornton had another stride ahead, you could say that would have happened. Basingstoke would have had a penalty shot to try and win this, but referee Nigel Boniface has let a lot of calls go in the last kind of 4 minutes of regulation time, and also in this overtime period, and it's his job to keep this game flowing, and that penalty he had to call.
Had to call that one, but he's let the players play, he's let the players decide, which is what all the players want to happen. Final minute, and the Bison on the power play. The Panthers started OT on the power play. The Bison are going to finish on the power play with Petro, and the puck is just banged and deflected just above our commentary position. 37 seconds left. There's Ryan Aldridge. Will he be happy?
Well, he's looking a lot more nervous. And
he just calls it a timeout.
Play. Great, smart play. They got the face-off down low in Nottingham's zone, and they've got the man advantage. It'll be 4-on-3. Good. And right now, what he'll want to do, Mike Ellis is going to try and set up a defensive strategy to take on what will be the Bison's set play off of this draw.
Mike Ellie's talking to his players. You can see he's got his chalkboard out there. And in fact, actually, one of the players has just stolen the pen off him. And it's Peltier is now writing. Mike Ellis had the pen and the chalkboard. Peltier has nicked the pen. And I'm sure it's not the pizza order for the way home. Ryan Aldridge, he's got his own pen, his own board. Just get shots, you just heard him say. Get shots on Rovniak. So here we go then, in overtime, 4-on-3 power play for the Basingstoke Bison. They've got Campbell, Thornton and Petro out there against McCaslin, Stancock and Peltier. And the puck, is he going to find its way back to Pelto? It's not.
Great play by McCaslin, who lost the draw, but who gave it a second chance and second crack at it and cleared the zone. 20 seconds,
Peltier gets there first, hammers, but Thornton meets it. And on the backhand will try and kick the puck in. Can he get it back to Campbell? He can. Campbell with a hammer, will he? Oh, he just stuck up. Here's Thornton to win it. Thornton, can he go back to Campbell? No, he can't. Great job, Peltier. Not good job, not fair job. Great job, Peltier on his knees. Here's Campbell, 2 seconds. Big shot comes in. Oh, and Peltier has taken a bullet from close range. First of all, on his knees, he cleared the zone. And then with a second left, that shows commitment. Yeah. He dived in front of a hammer. And he will be hurting.
To me, that guy will get an extra beer for me. Because this is playing hockey, guys. That is a true grit hockey player. 1 second left, and he takes it for the team right in the side of the leg, and you can see how much that would hurt, because that puck would have been, it's frozen. It's vulcanized rubber, and it's going at nearly 80, 90 miles an hour.
And it's freezing cold, which makes it even harder. Just fancy that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to hurt. I tap my knee, I applaud Peltier. And also, actually, the play just before that as well, when he was on his knees and he cleared the zone.
Yeah,
so 1 second, Peltier. So, yeah, Peter Campbell's just going to shoot this straight off the draw to see if he can get anything on it. McCaslin knows that Peter Campbell has only one option. It's to shoot straight off. He does. And good, smart play by McCaslin. Folks, we're going to a penalty shootout in the BMI Baby Elite League for the first time as this game finishes. Bison 1, Panthers 1. They'll both take 1 point in the league standings. A penalty shootout competition now, Nick, to get that extra point. So here we go with the penalty shootout. It's McCaslin versus Lyle, the captain of the Panthers. Right-handed shot, McCaslin shoots and scores. Oh, you got to pick a bucket or two, Sean. You got to pick a bucket or two. And he shoots and scores. 1-0 the Panthers.
And a great penalty by McCaslin. He comes in with a good head of speed. He looks up Lyle right in the eyes, has a little fake, but then goes low to the glove side.
Stewart now for the Bison. Stewart versus Rovniak. Rovniak, who made his name for the Panthers as a stopper. What a nice move, what a great goal, Stewart. He pulled 4 moves that made West there on Rovniak. And he shoots and scores on the backhand side.
What a great goal. He comes in again, heads up, fakes to the forehand, dipsy doodles around to the backhand, and beats Rovniak.
Corey Nielsen has scored the nicest penalty shot goal I ever saw last season. And can he do it again? It's the same move. He goes outside, inside. Watch this for a move. And he goes backhand, and Lyle shuts the door on him. He gave him the hammer.
Do you know what there, Dave? Crowd going absolutely nuts here, but Nielsen, you see he came in, his head of steam was nowhere near as fast as the previous 2 penalties, and that gives Stevie Lyle some more chance because the gap isn't closed that quick, and Stevie Lyle stands up and makes a big save.
Here's Chambers. There's no Campbell, there's no Thornton, who you'd expect to take penalty shots. Chambers to give the Bison a 2-1 advantage, comes in on Rovniak from wide, shoots, Rovniak denies. Poor penalty shot by Chambers, and it's still 1-1.
Well, he head down, elects not to look up at Rovniak, comes in, tries to go to the 5-holer or to the low blocker side.
Patrick Wallenberg against Stevie Lyle, the Swede, in his second spell with Nottingham. Left-handed shot, Wallenberg versus Lyle, and he shoots and scores. He went 5-0. Lyle looked like he got it, but Wallenberg could have won it for the Panthers with just 1 penalty shot left.
Again, coming in with a good head of steam, looks up, sees the 5 holes wide open from Stevie Lyle, and he beats him.
It's Peter Campbell. If Peter Campbell scores, we go again. If Rovniak saves, the Panthers win on the road. Campbell versus Rovniak. Rovniak denies, and the the Panthers win on the road for only the second time of the 2007-2008 B&I Baby Elite League season. The Panthers win by 2 goals to 1.
Well, I'll tell you what, the first, well, what a great game. Absolute great game. You can see Campbell coming in, and he tries to go 5-hole as well, like what happened at the other end. And Ravniak, he's just too quick down low, and he gets to stick out as well, Dave. So it puts off Campbell, and
well, the Panthers trailed 1-0 to that goal, Peter Campbell. Wallenberg made it 1-1 in the third period, through the third, through overtime, but then goals from McCaslin and Wallenberg again on the penalty shootout means 2 points for the Panthers on the road. They beat the Basingstoke Bison by 2 goals to 1. We'll have more after this break.
Welcome back to the BMI Baby Elite Ice Hockey League here on Sky Sports, where the Nottingham Panthers pipped a win after overtime on penalties against the Basingstoke Bison 2-1. And there you can have a look. Campbell on the board for the Bison first, and then Wallenberg tying it up and sending it into overtime, past overtime, and into the penalty shootout. And Dave Sims, you're finished your interviews now, but that's probably one of the best 65 minutes and penalties of hockey that we've seen all year.
I think we're in week, 5, 6 of the BMI Baby Elite League. I've probably seen 12 or 13 games. Head and shoulders the best game I've seen so far. 2 teams who came out, took the body, gave us a great night's entertainment, very physical, and we get overtime and penalty shots as well. Who could ask for more?
Yeah, the Bison coming out, and as you said, they just came out hitting and moving the legs, and they were really energetic, and it was a real great hockey game to watch.
We said they'd come out hard in the first 10 minutes, and they did. Nottingham got the early power play, which took a little bit of the momentum away, but I like the way that they played. Derek Campbell takes the body. I love Melanson. I thought he was all things to all people.
That penalty at the end of the game.
Maybe, but I thought Melanson was outstanding. He keeps people honest, and I'd take him on any team I was on. He's nasty and mean, and I like the way he plays the game.
Okay, well, like as we mentioned, for the first time we saw penalties, and
well, McCaslin was the first to shoot, and he kept it low. He went glove side on Stevie Lyle.
Yeah.
Lovely shot, lovely finish.
Yeah, and Stevie Lyle shutting the door, and then the Bison come right back on theirs. Great fake and goal.
Well, Stewart, impressed me all night. I was surprised he was going to be a penalty shot taker, but what a lovely finish on Rovniak. Then Nielsen, of course, and he scored some great penalty shot goals last year.
Just not a lot of pace on this, though, eh?
No, but he pulled that move last year in the quarter-final and the semi-final of the playoffs to win penalty shot shootouts for the Nottingham Panthers. Exactly the same move, but Stevie Lyle denied.
And then right back again the other way.
Chambers this time. I was a little bit surprised that it was Chambers and perhaps not a Stevie Thornton that took that penalty shot, and it was the most regular of the saves for Rovniak. Obviously, Chambers does something right to Ryan Ashton to put him in that position, but then here we see Wallenberg, and again,
great, a goal scorer's goal, isn't it?
Yeah, looked like Lyle got it though, didn't he? He went low 5-hole there, and Steve looked like he got it. Couldn't shut the door. So that meant that Peter Campbell had to shoot and score. If Rovniak saves, it's all over. Have a guess, folks, it's all over, and Rovniak does it again.
How much does Rovniak like facing these penalties, eh?
Well, he just got the hammer out there with the poke check, and you can see how happy he is. And
he's waving up to his fans there, the Nottingham Panthers that have taken the trip down here, and he's the first ones to congratulate.
Well, you know what, and rightly so. A good turnout of Nottingham fans here tonight, just to our commentary position to the left-hand side, and they saw a good road win because the Panthers have got a challenge for the league title, Nick, and to do that they've got to win in rinks like this, and they did a very good job. They competed for 65 minutes.
All right, Dave, well, let's head down ringside where you were a few minutes ago and see your interviews.
Patrick, you must be a happy man. You get the game tire, and then you go and get the game winner as well.
Yeah, I'm happy. It was a good win for us. We didn't start, the first half of the game we didn't play too good, but in the end we showed moral and we came back, and it was a good win for us.
The Panthers are trying to win a title, and to do that you've got to win in rinks like this, haven't you?
Yes, we have to, but we've been struggling away this year, but hopefully we can pick it up in the future.
You had a new line mate tonight, Sean McCaslin, with yourself and Moline. It's changed around a bit. How does that line work?
It's working really well. Sean is a good scorer, so if we can make good passes to him, he for sure gonna score some goals.
Peter, one that got away there, I think.
Absolutely. I think it's really frustrating to lose one like that. We feel that we really worked hard there, and we deserved 2 points. We out-hit them, we outworked them. In our barn, it's not an easy place to come play, and we came out bang and crash, and we had the 1-goal lead after 2, and kind of shoot ourselves in the foot with a turnover, and it's frustrating, but it definitely we feel we let 2 points slip away from us tonight.
You crashed and you banged around, you got the puck to the net, and you did all the things right, you just couldn't get it past Rovniak.
Yeah, full marks to the goalie. He played well. He gave them a good chance to win tonight, and so did Lily. Lily played amazing as well, and it's just unfortunate, we're a team that we need to score more goals. We've been in a few games where it's been 2-1 results, and that's not good enough for our team. We've got firing power, and I think on average we should be scoring 3-4 a night. And when we do that, like last week, we have great success. This week, we only score 1 goal, and at least we got 1 point out of it at the end.
Mike, the monkey's off your back. You win in Basingstoke, you win on the road, and you win on Sky Sports.
Yeah, it's great. We finally got those monkeys off our backs, and the guys are really a good turning point for our team. We all worked really hard and stuck to the game plan all the way through, and in the final period there, we seemed to really turn it up, and I was really happy with tonight's win.
Great goal, that Wallenberg goal in the final period, and you probably then had the better of the chances after you levelled it.
Yeah, it really took so long for us to get that first goal, but as soon as it went in, the guys' heads all lifted up, and everyone just kept pushing all the way right to the end, and yeah, it was really good for us.
And Rovniak on penalty shots again, eh? He's incredible, isn't he?
He seems to have a knack of that. I think he's a pretty wise old goalie, and he knows what most players are going to do.
Ryan, I would imagine that's a bitter one to swallow.
Yeah, we've had a couple of those this year in our rink. Tonight definitely was. I think we were the better team. We came out hard in the first. I think we outworked them, and they couldn't handle the pressure we were putting on them. And we get a sloppy goal at the end there that tie the game.
Basingstoke certainly come to play, don't they? And they're a physical team, and they take every opportunity to use that physique.
Yeah, exactly. We are a physical team, and maybe too physical at times, especially in our own end, running around at guys and taking some penalties. Some are, you got to take on the chin. They're out-and-out penalties, and some you got to, not too sure.
Still many positives to take from tonight, and you pick up a point as well.
Yeah, exactly. I've told the guys, heads up. I think we were the better team. We'll take that into tomorrow into Nottingham and try and get those points back.
And here are the results from Saturday in the league. Sheffield with a big road win up in Edinburgh, 5-3. And Hull with a huge win over Belfast, 2-0, which will keep Belfast and Cardiff down at the bottom of the league. Coventry, Newcastle, and Manchester. Sheffield, it's all really tight at the top. Don't forget, more hockey coming your way. The Sheffield Steelers against the Manchester Phoenix, 5:30 p.m. on Sky Sports 3. Quick thanks to Dave Sims, and guys, we'll see you next time.